university used beagle dogs, rodents, rabbits, guinea pigs, the whole lot basically, even cats in vivisection laboratories. They've got a number of laboratories which actually do this and do a variety of experiments. Across the UK and across the world, the anti-vivisection movement stepping back up into the mark again and showing these animal testers that we won't simply stand by and let them do what they're doing any longer, that we're willing to go out there and fight for every single animal, for every single life that's lost inside these hellholes. We've seen a campaign start up in the last month against the University of Leicester to try and stop the building of their new animal testing facility. The university is so ashamed of this that they're willing to go out, they're willing to lie to their contractors, they're willing to lie to the public and to the press and state that the animals that they're using will only be rodents, will only be rats. But at the end of the day, whether it's beagle dogs that they're using, whether it's rodents, whether rats, whether it's one rat, whether it's 1,000 rats, we're willing to go out and fight for that life and fight for every single animal. We've seen across the globe new campaigns starting up to stop the import of primates into the UK and to shut down Mazor Farm, which is one of the largest suppliers of primates. Now what Mazor do is capture these primates in the wild, in the jungles of Mauritius and Vietnam. They do disgusting things like bait them into traps, beat them over the head and then put them in tiny bags and ship them off to laboratories across the world. Most of the UK universities and most of the labs in the UK get their primates from Mazor Farm, and to simply take out this primate trade. El Al, which are the main airline willing to fly primates across the world, have been confronted about this and are denying it in the press, even though proof has been shown to activists across the world that this airline are willing to transport primates for vivisection. We've seen airlines in the past month pulling out already, saying that they won't ship primates, won't ship beagles or any other animals. And to say this is happening in this movement only shows how much we're progressing, how much the vivisectors across the country are fearing us, and how much we can only go further and we can win this campaign and win the rights for animals across the country. Now before we go, I'd like to send my gratitude to Lewis Pogson, who's just been released from prison. Lewis was sent down for releasing 129 rabbits from Highgate Farm and liberate them, and he got out of prison yesterday, and I'd just like to send my gratitude to him. Thank you.
The old adage, it's saying by George Bernard Shaw that those who don't hesitate to vivisect will not hesitate to lie about it. There's no way you can get round repression. Every movement that's ever succeeded in history has had to face repression. And there's no way around it, there's no way under it, there's no way over it. You've just got to plough straight through it, because in the end, that's the only way we're going to win. So don't see repression as a negative thing, see repression as an inevitable part of the struggle. But on the other side of that, it's justice for the animals and justice for us as well. Sheffield University have killed over 1 million animals. There's a story to each one of those, because each one of those animals was an individual. And each one of those animals is a story of torture, misery and suffering that was only ended when the animal was killed.
Just as people have learned to carry on their lives, while minority groups are brutalised or killed by the state, we're brought up to ignore the systematic torture and killing of animals. Behind the walls of high-security vivisection labs and anonymous factory farms lies an incredible amount of suffering. Monkeys living their lives alone in barren cages, rats force-fed cocaine, rabbits with chemicals rubbed into their eyes, all slaughtered once they've served their purpose. The goal of animal liberation relies on shedding light on these dark recesses of society and exposing the ideology that allows such abuses. Speciesism is the idea that animals are merely resources, to be tortured out of intellectual curiosity, to be butchered for a bacon sandwich, to be skinned alive for a fur coat. At Sheffield University, 82 animals are killed every day for vivisection. 30,000 animals every year. We've started this campaign to raise awareness of the animal abuse taking place on our doorstep, and we'll continue until we rid the city of this vile industry. There are many ways people can get involved with this campaign and for other campaigns for animal rights. You can come on demonstrations, you can flyer, you can produce websites and leaflets, you can take direct action. We can't wait for the government to act for animals. We need to take it on ourselves to educate the public and inflict economic damage on the industries of animal abuse. Thanks for coming today, and we'll see you back here until this hellhole is closed down.
There's no way you can get round repression. Every movement that's ever succeeded in history has had to face repression. And there's no way around it, there's no way under it, there's no way over it. You've just got to plough straight through it, because in the end, that's the only way we're going to win. So don't see repression as a negative thing, see repression as an inevitable part of the struggle. But on the other side of that, it's justice for the animals and justice for us as well.